say wisdom comes with age, but sometimes it feels like age comes with a silent thief, a thief that steals slowly, without warning, without a sound. I never imagined it would hide in the little white bottles I took every day. Cut to a close-up of the pills, the label slightly blurred. I was 67 when I first noticed it. A name slipped from my mind, a familiar street felt unfamiliar, and I found myself staring at a grocery list I had written only an hour before. I thought it was just normal forgetfulness, but deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Soft piano music begins. A subtle sense of tension builds. Most of us seniors trust our medications. We trust our doctors. We trust that what's on our kitchen counter is helping us, keeping us healthy. But what if I told you some of these common medications could be silently weakening our brains? Cut to a visual montage, a doctor explaining, pill bottles lined up, brain scans showing subtle changes. Research shows that certain everyday medications, like some sleep aids, strong antihistamines, or even some over-the-counter pain relievers, can actually accelerate memory loss. These aren't rare drugs. They're prescribed millions of times each year, often without patients fully understanding the risks. Visual, animation of a brain shrinking slightly, neurons dimming as pills are introduced. Narrator, softly, emotionally. It's like planting a garden. Every pill you take is a drop of water, but some of these drops carry salt. Slowly, the soil dries. Slowly, the flowers fade. And the most precious flower of all, your memory, begins to wither. Scene changes. The narrator sits in an armchair, hands folded, looking reflective. I remember the day it hit me. I couldn't recall my neighbor's name, a man I'd known for 30 years. I felt a sudden panic, not because I'd forgotten, but because I didn't even recognize that I'd been forgetting. And that's the danger of these medications. They're silent, stealthy, invisible. Cut to a doctor in a bright, calm clinic. Doctor, voiceover. Many seniors experience cognitive changes that aren't immediately obvious. Medications like benzodiazepines, certain antihistamines, and even some over-the-counter pain relievers can contribute to faster cognitive decline. It's important to review every medication with your doctor, especially if you notice memory lapses or confusion. Back to narrator, leaning forward slightly, intimate and direct to camera. But don't panic. This isn't a horror story without hope. There are steps we can take, simple, practical steps that can protect our brains. First, never stop a medication on your own. Always talk to your doctor. Keep a diary of your medications, noting doses and side effects. Ask if there are safer alternatives, lower-risk options that don't harm your memory. Cut to cinematic montage. A senior organizing pills in a labeled box, making notes in a diary, smiling as a doctor explains alternatives. I started doing this myself. Every morning, I would check my medications, cross-reference with my doctor, and slowly I felt a sense of control returning. The fog began to lift. I could remember names again. I could enjoy conversations without fear of forgetting the punchline. Music swells slightly, emotional but hopeful. The truth is, millions of seniors are taking these medications every day, unaware of the risks. But knowledge is power. Awareness is your shield. A conversation with your doctor could make all the difference, because memory isn't just a collection of facts. It's the essence of who we are, the stories we tell, the laughter we share, the love we give. Scene changes. The narrator walking through a park, autumn leaves falling, interacting with grandchildren. So here's what I want you to take away. Not every medication is harmless for your brain. Keep track, review, and consult with your doctor regularly. Even small steps today, asking questions, recording your medications, exploring alternatives, can protect your memory for tomorrow. Soft fade to narrator sitting at a table, looking directly at camera, voice gentle and sincere. And remember, before you take your next pill, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly safe for my brain? Because sometimes the smallest questions can prevent the biggest losses. Final cinematic shot. The narrator smiles softly, sun setting behind him, grandchildren laughing nearby. Text on screen. Protect your memory. Talk to your doctor today. For the first time it happened, at a family dinner. My granddaughter told a funny story, and for a moment, I couldn't recall her name. I felt a chill in my chest, a mixture of fear and guilt. I tried to laugh it off, but deep inside, I knew this wasn't just forgetfulness. Something more was happening. Close-up of the narrator's hands trembling slightly as he sets down the teacup. Many seniors experience moments like this, tiny lapses we try to ignore, but these small slips can be the first warning signs of something far more serious, memory changes triggered by medications we trust every day. Cut to animation. A calendar flips quickly, highlighting daily medication intake. Pills flow into an animated brain, neurons dimming subtly. Doctors tell us that certain medications, often prescribed for sleep, anxiety, or pain, can accelerate cognitive decline. And the tricky part, these changes are gradual. You don't notice them until the difference is undeniable. By then, the damage is already done. Scene shifts. Narrator walking slowly in a garden, hands clasped behind his back, leaves crunching beneath his feet. Warning signs can be subtle. Confusion over familiar routines, forgetting names of loved ones, misplacing items repeatedly, or struggling to follow simple conversations. At first, you might dismiss it. "Oh, I'm just tired," you say, but your brain is trying to tell you something. Cut to a doctor sitting in a well-lit office, speaking calmly and reassuringly. Doctor, voiceover. Early recognition is critical. Seniors taking high-risk medications should monitor for sudden confusion, memory lapses, or changes in mood. Keeping a detailed journal of symptoms and medication intake allows us to intervene early, adjust dosages, or recommend safer alternatives. Back to the narrator, seated at a table with a notebook, writing down medications and symptoms. I began keeping a memory diary. Each morning, I noted how I felt, any slips I noticed, and the medications I took. At first, it felt tedious, almost obsessive, but soon patterns emerged. I could see the connection, certain pills, certain times of day, and the moments my memory faltered. Visual montage. Narrator reviewing his medication list with the doctor, pointing at pills, doctor nodding and explaining alternatives. Then came the hardest part, the conversation with my doctor. It wasn't easy admitting that I might have been harming my brain, but the moment I shared my observations, I felt relief. I wasn't powerless. There were solutions. Music shifts slightly, hopeful, uplifting undertone. Together, we adjusted some medications, explored safer options, and introduced non-drug methods to manage my conditions. It wasn't an overnight fix, but slowly clarity returned. I could engage in conversations without panic, remember my granddaughter's name without hesitation, and regain the joy of connecting with my family. Scene. Narrator laughing with his grandchildren in the living room, soft sunlight streaming in, warm and emotional. The lesson here is clear. Recognizing the warning signs early is your best defense. Don't wait for a crisis. Be observant. Track your memory, mood, and daily functioning. Share openly with your doctor. Honesty is your strongest ally. Cut to cinematic visuals. Seniors setting reminders, taking light walks, playing puzzles with family members. Practical steps you can take today. Keep a daily diary of symptoms and medication intake. Schedule regular cognitive checkups. Don't skip them. Discuss each medication with your doctor, especially those known to impact brain health. Explore safer alternatives or non-drug strategies when possible. Soft zoom in on narrator, hands folded, voice calm yet compelling. Early intervention can slow cognitive decline. It can preserve your independence, your relationships, and most importantly, your dignity. Ignoring warning signs might seem easier, but it comes at a cost that no one wants to pay. Visual montage. Doctor explaining, medication lists, seniors walking outside, journaling, smiling, sunlight on their faces. Narrator, emotionally. We often think memory loss is just part of getting older, but sometimes it's a signal from our body, from our brain, telling us, pay attention, make changes, protect yourself. Scene. Narrator gently closes the diary, smiles, looks directly at camera, voice soft but persuasive. So here's what I want you to remember today. Memory slips are not always normal. Watch for subtle changes. Early action, tracking, consulting, adjusting can make a real difference. Don't let silence fool you. The earlier you recognize the warning signs, the better your chances of slowing down the damage and protecting the life you love. Final cinematic shot. Narrator walking outside into the sunset. Grandchildren playing nearby. Soft piano fades out. Text on screen. Notice the signs. Take action early. Talk to your doctor today. After the fear, after the uncertainty, comes a moment of clarity. A moment when you realize it's never too late to take control, to protect what matters most, your memory, your mind, your life. I learned that protecting your brain isn't about magic pills or quick fixes. It's about simple, consistent steps, each one small, but together powerful. And it starts with knowledge. Knowing which medications might harm your memory, and talking openly with your doctor. Regular medication reviews are essential. Many seniors take multiple prescriptions, and even over-the-counter medications can impact cognitive health. Adjusting doses, changing medications, or finding safer alternatives can make a significant difference. It's like tending a garden. Every choice we make nurtures our brain, or lets it wither. Exercise, proper nutrition, hydration, and mental stimulation are all part of this care. Even 15 minutes a day of light activity can help maintain blood flow and keep your mind sharp. Brain health isn't just about avoiding medications that harm us. It's about building resilience. I started small, walking a few blocks, drinking more water, eating more vegetables, doing crossword puzzles, and even chatting daily with my neighbors. Every step made me feel more alive, more in control, more myself. Social connections matter too. Isolation accelerates cognitive decline. Talking, laughing, sharing stories, it's as important for your brain as it is for your heart. And when we combine these habits with careful medication management, we give ourselves the best chance at staying sharp and independent. Here's what I follow every day. Review medications weekly with my doctor. Track memory and mood changes in a simple diary. Walk or do light exercise for at least 20 minutes. Engage my mind, reading, puzzles, or learning something new. Stay socially active. Call a friend, join a club, talk with family. Small steps repeated daily become habits, and habits protect your brain far more than fear ever could. The beauty of this approach is that it's never too late. Even if you've been taking risky medications for years, even if you've noticed some memory slips, taking action today can make a difference. Every change, every conversation with your doctor, every extra walk, every puzzle completed strengthens your mind. Of course, fear has its place. It makes us cautious. But knowledge, action, and consistency are what give us hope. Hope that our memories, our stories, our identity can continue to flourish even in our later years. So here's what I want you to remember. Your brain can be protected at any age. Small, consistent actions, exercise, diet, mental stimulation, and social connections make a big impact. Medication management is key. Know what you take and speak openly with your doctor. Every day is an opportunity to reclaim control over your memory, your mind, and your life. Start today. Take the first step. Review your medications, move your body, challenge your mind, and connect with those you love. Because your memory, your life, is worth protecting.